Alrighty, in this video I'm going to take you through how we can use Pascal's triangle, which is this bad boy here, to expand binomials or for binomial expansion, such as in a question like 3a plus b all to the power of 5. What is the full and simplified expansion? Pascal's triangle gives us a nice shortcut and it helps us avoid overcomplicating the binomial theorem. First of all, if you've never seen Pascal's triangle before, search it up on YouTube. There are so many videos about what is Pascal's triangle, how do you create it. But for the intents and purposes of this video, you don't really need to know how it's created. But if you take any number, it is the sum of the two numbers above it. So 6 and 4 makes 10, or 6 and 15 makes 21, and the outsides are all ones. And the second bit of information that you need is that it starts from row 0, which is really important, and then goes to row 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And that row number, so in this case row number 5, matches the indice that you're going to be using to expand. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I'm going to leave Pascal's triangle for a moment, show you where it comes in a second, but first we're going to need to look at how we actually do the expansion. So we're going to take the first term here, and I'm going to have to do this on 2 lines probably, unless I write really small. So I'm going to start with, let's say here, we'll say this is going to be equal to the first term, which is 3a, raised to this power, and then the second term raised to 5 minus the term number we're up to. Okay, so that's going to be 0. Okay, sorry, 5 minus this. So that's going to be b equals 0. Now I'm going to press do plus, because we're going to have to sum these up. And I'm going to leave a tiny gap, and you'll see why shortly. But the next term, I drop this power by 1, raise this power by 1. So it's still 3a, but instead of 5, it goes to 4. And this one goes up 1 from b, power of 0, goes to b to the power of 1. Again, plus, leave a small gap, and I'm going to have 3a to the power of 1 less than 4, which is 3. This one increases by 1, which is 2. And I will do the next 3 on the line below. This is going to be plus, and I'm going to have down here 3a again, but that drops by 1 to squared. That goes up 1 to cubed. And you'll notice they're kind of like inversing here in the how big this order is. Now I've got 3a, which is my first term again, drop it by 1 to 1, raise this one by 1 to 4, and finally I'm going to have 3a all to the power of 0, and then b goes up to 5, and I'm done. So it started with 5 and 0, and they slowly changed 5, 0 until it was 0 and 5. Right, we're not done though. That's not fully correct, but I do want to point out one thing before I involve Pascal's triangle. That thing being that notice that every time I took 3a and raised it to some power, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I put it in brackets, in parentheses, and that's super important because as I'm doing these expansions and I'm actually going to be raising these things to this power, I also have to raise the 3, not just the a. And that's probably the first and biggest mistake students will make when they solve one of these kind of problems, is they'll only raise a to the power of 5 and forget about the 3. This whole term has to get raised to a power each time. Okay, but if I did this and I expanded and simplified, it's not correct. I'm missing one key feature, and that's the coefficients of each of these terms. And those coefficients, as you probably guessed by now, or if you haven't, come from Pascal's triangle. Specifically, this indice, 5, tells us which row to look for those coefficients. So, row number 5, which matches our indice, 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. I'm going to get my blue pen to match Pascal's triangle. 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. This is going to be a 1. Then I've got 5. Then I've got 10. My next one's down here. 10, 5, and 1 at the very end. And those coefficients, 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1, come from this row, and they're super imperative to get the actual right value when you do the expand and simplify. So my next step here is going to be to expand and simplify. Normally, I would just write equals and put it all on one line. However, for the purpose of this video, I'm going to do one more step in between. So I'm going to leave the 1 out the front. Let me just get this pen. So I've got a 1 out the front. Now, 3 to the power of 5. I've already done this one. I've got it in the screen in front of me, but if you don't, in fact, I'll show you. Get out your calculator and do 3 to the power of 5, and you get 243. So I'm going to write 3 to the power of 5 was 243. Oops. 243. A also has to be raised to the power of 5. And b to the power of 0 is just 1. So we're not actually going to do anything there. It's just times by 1. So we're going to leave it. So 243 a to the power of 5. That first one is complete. Now this second one, we have a 5 out the front. So plus 5 lots of, let me change these caps. 5 lots of 3 to the power of 4. Well, 3 squared is 9, 3 cubed is 27, times 3 again is going to be 81. So 81, a to the power of 4, and this time b to the power of 1 is just b. Done there. Next one, which is this guy. We've got a 10 out the front. It stays. We've got 3 cubed, which is 27. We've got a cubed, and we have b squared. Plus, this one, we've got 10 out the front. We have 3 squared, which is 9, a squared, which is just a squared, and b cubed. We have a 5 out the front. We have 3 to the power of 1 is just 3, a b to the power of 4, and last but not least, and I know that I'm in the way, I have one lot of this. Anything to the power of 0 is just 1, so even though it's 3a, it's all to the power of 0, so that's just 1 times b to the power of 5. Okay, now I'm just going to put a line, because it's getting kind of confusing that I've got 4 lines but only 2 lines of working, so I'm going to put a horizontal line there to show that that's 2 steps of working, and then my final step of working is going to be below. Remember, this one's optional. I'm simply now going to be multiplying these numbers together, multiplying through. I could have done that on the previous line, but I just want to show you it fully worked out. So now I should get 1 times this is just it, so 243 a to the power of 5, plus 5 lots of 81. Well, 5 eighths are 40, so 5 80s are 400, and then 5 ones is 5. So it should be 405 a to the power of 4 times b. Then I've got 10 times 27, add a 0, it's going to be 270 a cubed b squared, plus, and I'm going to go down a line again, 10 times 9 is 90, a squared b cubed, 5 times 3 is 15, so 15 a b to the power of 4, and our last term is just b to the power of 5. So, to finally recap, when you're doing a binomial expansion, the first step is to start with this first term to the full power, this one to the power of 0. So 3a all to the power of 5, b to the power of 0, ensuring that if you've got a coefficient and a variable as a single term, the whole thing is bracketed before you raise it to the power. And then your powers change. So as you move to the next term, this one drops 1 to a 4, this one goes up 1 to a 1, and so on all the way through. And then we use Pascal's triangle to figure out which are the coefficients of this expansion. It's a very useful skill. Pascal's triangle you can create if you're in an exam and you forget the proper binomial expansion. You can construct Pascal's triangle by starting with 1, 1, 1 in a triangle. The outsides are all 1s. Each number is the sum of the 2 above it, so 2 is 1 plus 1, 5 is 4 plus 1, and so on. Okay. Hopefully this helps you when it comes to expanding these binomials and saves you a lot of time so you don't have to do the full expansion and simplification. You can use this shortcut.